You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday afternoon. Brady is back today.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Good to see you.
Did you have a nice Christmas break?
I did. It was nice. Got to go home, and now I'm back. I'm getting ready for the cold weather.
All right,
Yeah.
it's coming back.
How was yours?
It was great.
Good.
Yeah, same thing. Back and forth, and now 2 days until the new year.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Who even knows? Yeah. This is such a time suck, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, like we said, temperatures are dropping low through the New Year holiday, and some dustings of snow came through our area today. What can we expect through the end of the week, Alex?
That's a great question. Let's start off with tonight. What can we expect tonight? We have snow rapidly moving into Dane County from the north and from the west right along I-39. Some of the snow could be coming down at a decent rate as it moves off towards the south and towards the east. Zooming on out just to show you where this snow is, it extends really from, the Dells to Madison to Janesville, areas off towards the north and towards the east. Southwest Wisconsin, you don't see a lot of blue, but that doesn't mean that there's something not there. This is an area where freezing drizzle could be making it down to area roads and surfaces. So between snow and freezing drizzle, we have slick spots that are very likely going to develop as we move through the evening commute. Snow widespread continuing to develop, maybe upwards of an inch. So not a lot of snow, but mixed in with that freezing drizzle, we're going to be looking at slick spots as we move through the evening commute. And we have more snow in the forecast. You asked what's going to happen the rest of this week. Well, more light snow on New Year's Eve day and then very cold. How much snow can we expect tomorrow and how cold will we be? To start off 2026, I have the answers in a little while.
Thank you, Alex. We're looking into the death of a Fitchburg woman who died in what appears to be a murder in the Caribbean island of Antigua.
Karen Johansson helped run her family's greenhouse business in Madison for many years, and she was a familiar face to many here on News 3 Now. Our Eric Franke is here with what we know about this very sad situation.
Yeah, no doubt. A cherished member of our team for many years. As you know, Susan, you and I worked with Karen for many years, and Karen Johansson was attacked, we were told, back on December 19th. It happened while on a horseback riding tour on Dickinson Bay in that small island nation. She was treated for her injuries there after the attack before being airlifted to UW Hospital, where she died last Friday. Police in Antigua say they do have a man in custody as their investigation into Johansson's death continues. Authorities have not released any more details about the suspect or what exactly led to that attack. Antigua and Barbuta's Minister of Tourism told local media outlets there that he offered condolences to Johansson's family and described Karen as a valued contributor to the tourism sector there. Many viewers will remember Karen's segments here on News 3 Now, where she appeared as our green gardener, sharing her expertise and passion for plants and gardening with the community. Johansson also operated Johansson's greenhouse alongside her siblings Gary and Lynn until the business closed in 2013. The greenhouse served the local community for many years, becoming a familiar destination for gardening enthusiasts and plant lovers throughout the area. She will be missed by all of the folks here that knew her well. The investigation remains active as authorities are working to find the full circumstances that led to her death. And of course, our thoughts are with her loved ones as they grieve right now. And Susan, you and I got to know Karen very well as our green gardener. Great person to work with.
Yes.
And we've missed her since she left. She left our air at the same time they sold the greenhouse. And it's been interesting and nice to see a lot of our viewers sharing their thoughts on Facebook. Not only she gave tips to folks on the air here, but also to the gardeners as they entered the greenhouse. So
yeah, she was so knowledgeable, and unfortunately, she was before your time with us. You didn't get an opportunity to meet her.
Heard a lot of great stories about her.
And the comments on Facebook have been very nice. It's sort of hard to believe.
It
actually, and we're going to follow the story very closely.
We'll update it, but right now our thoughts, of course, with Gary, Lynn, the entire family as they grieve the loss of a cherished member, as I mentioned, of our team as well, Karen Johansson.
Well said. Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Just before 10 o'clock last night, Dane County Sheriff's deputies were called to Birch Drive in the village of Windsor for a no-contact order violation, and that turned into a standoff and an arrest at 4:30 this morning. Deputies had arrested a 36-year-old man just hours earlier following a domestic call at the same address. On the second call, deputies talked to the man in his vehicle, but he drove off to his home on Depot Street. After deputies tried going into the home, they heard a gunshot. They set up a perimeter and went through hours of negotiations. The man surrendered and faces multiple charges, including second-degree reckless endangerment, along with fleeing and eluding.
Respiratory illnesses are back on the rise with a vengeance across the state, including here in south central Wisconsin. New data from the Department of Health Services shows that COVID and flu activity are increasing statewide, with influenza A leading the positive test results. Doctors say this flu season is being driven by a new variant known as subclade K, which is causing more severe illness, especially among adults 65 and older. UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff says cases typically rise after the holidays, and health officials continue to urge vaccination and staying home when you're sick.
Madison police are stepping up patrols ahead of New Year's Eve with a special focus on impaired driving and illegal fireworks as snow and slick roads move into our area. Officers will be upstaffed citywide, not just downtown, with extra patrols on the east and west sides to handle late night parties and bar closing time. We spoke with a neighborhood resource officer who says with the holiday and added driving conditions, it's just not worth taking the risk.
We will be enforcing OWI laws just like we do all the time. And so that's going to be a particular area of focus, making sure that if you're drinking, you're not getting behind the wheel. And particularly when you add the layer of inclement weather on top of that, it's just not worth the risk. And so if you're in doubt about how you can get home safely, figure out another plan, figure out another driver, figure out a safe way to get home, whether it be because of snow and ice or because you've been consuming alcohol.
Police also want to remind you of this. In Madison, anything that goes boom in the sky is illegal without a permit from the fire chief. And mixing alcohol and fireworks, well, that could bring both fire crews and officers to your door. Lisco says the department would rather help people get home safely than take them to jail. And neighbors can expect a highly visible police presence throughout the city as they ring in 2026.
2 days to go.
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, I know. Stop the world, we want to get off. Coming up next on Live at 4, the investigation of alleged massive Medicaid fraud in Minnesota is taking a new turn based on a viral video. We'll tell you why dozens of DHS agents showed up at daycare centers and clinics.
Then a Wisconsin man and his family say they're just hoping to help their community when offering their shoveling services. We have ways on how you can get involved here in Dane County.
And Kentucky saw its temperatures drop by 50 degrees overnight. We keep our eyes on lake effect snow in the Midwest and other weather systems hitting the rest of the country.
Plus some light snow for the next few days, coupled with steadily dropping temperatures are on tap for our area. Alex is back with a check of the First Warn forecast.
News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, we've had a little more snow this year than we have in the past few years.
Yeah, the first part of this month was wild. Well, of course, that means more shoveling.
A lacrosse man who is using the recent snow we've been getting, he's using it to build and help his community.
Seth Padilla reports.
Community members are stepping up to help. Meet Chandler and his family. He has been out here since 5 a.m. to help shovel the sidewalks of many people who otherwise can't. He posted a message on Nextdoor emphasizing he will do it for a cheap price. And for those that can't shovel on their own and don't want to pay for an expensive professional service, Chandler provides much needed assistance.
And I found Chandler on the Nextdoor app. Very responsive, came right out and started working on my sidewalk. I'm handicapped, so I can't do it, and it's a huge relief to have somebody do it and do such a good job.
Chandler says this isn't a business for him, but a way to help out his local community.
Yeah, it's just me. I'm not looking out here to make a bunch of money and get rich. I'm out here just trying to help people out, and especially the people that can't do it, or just simply don't want to do it, because I get it. It's cold out here talking to you right now, so I fully understand it. I'm not in it to get rich at it by any means.
He hopes that someone else helps him out in the future if he has a similar situation. By the end of today, he will have done 14 houses. Reporting in La Crosse, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now.
Wow, go Chandler. For those 60 and older who might need help shoveling, you can check out New Bridge of Madison, and they have a Snow Angels program. They're also looking for volunteers to help shovel snow when the time arises.
It's always nice to help each other out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thankfully, we may not need to shovel that much anytime soon, but some snow, wind, and cold temperatures are on the radar, Alex.
Yeah, just little bits amounts of snow that are happening out there, but even those little bit amounts that we're having are showing up here on Radar 3000. 30,000, especially from Cross Plains to Fitchburg, areas off towards the north and towards the east. You go further to the south and west, you think, well, nothing's going on out towards Arena, town of Perry and Mount Horeb, but that is not necessarily true. There is weather going on in southwestern Wisconsin, or southwest Wisconsin rather, and it's in the form of freezing drizzle. When you don't have the snow falling, what you end up getting is freezing drizzle. So we have a mix of freezing drizzle and light to moderate snow across southern Wisconsin right now. Here's a live look at our Edgewater Skycam here as part of our First Warn WeatherCam network, and you see reduced visibilities. This part of Madison, the northeast part of Madison, going on 151 up towards Sun Prairie. You're getting that light snow. We're only expecting an inch or less. You probably could use a broom to dust that off of the sidewalks and off of your steps going outside, but that freezing drizzle, if that accumulates on top or in the mix with that light snow, slick spots are expected for the evening commute. So you may need to take it easy if you're just about ready to head out to do any commuting for the evening. Less than an inch of snow tonight, more snow expected on New Year's Eve, and then just cold stuff on New Year's Day to start off 2026. Those are the three things you got to get out of my forecast here. Future Track showing that widespread snow at 6 o'clock. Best chances for that snow, Madison areas to the northeast. Then we get a break as we head towards midnight. And then we repeat this. Clipper number 2 on the way as we go into New Year's Eve day, moving in as we go into the afternoon hours. But like all Clipper systems, they're quick. So maybe a dusting, maybe a half inch or so of snow. Overall amounts less than an inch to maybe an inch across southern Wisconsin. Can't rule out an isolated 2-inch amount across the area. But we're not looking at big snows with these two Clipper-like systems. And with any Clipper system, it's often cold behind. Nosedive. There we go. Thursday 18, but it's quick. We work our way back up into the upper 20s to the lower 30s. Normal high for this time of year. Look up towards the top of the screen there. It's 29. So normal weather for a change. That's not something I've said a whole lot here the past couple weeks, really since Thanksgiving. So that's a plus. Temperatures in the 20s tonight, staying steady. A little warmer to the southwest. You're on the other side of the Clipper, the warmer side of the Clipper out towards Prairie du Chien. Your temperatures in southwest Wisconsin will also be a touch warmer as we go into the last day of 2025. A little colder to the northeast. You're on the cold side of this Clipper-like system on Wednesday. Then we all are cold as we go into the very first day of 2026. Wind chills between -5, -10, and maybe locally -15 below zero up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties as we go into that very first day of 2026. And there's the warm up right behind me there. We'll keep an eye on a weather system late next week, but that's pretty far out there. Otherwise, we're going to enjoy temperatures normal for a change to start off 2026. How about that?
That sounds good. Thank you, Alex. Well, after a defensive performance that left much to be desired, the Packers now have their sights set on this Sunday's game against the Vikings in Minneapolis.
Look out, everyone. But with that game playing no role in the playoffs, News 3 Now's senior Packers writer Jason Wilde shows us how the team will weigh this game and who plays.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur has some decisions to make heading into Sunday's regular season finale against the Minnesota Vikings in Minneapolis. He needs to figure out how he wants to play that game. The Packers are locked into the number 7 seed in the NFC. They cannot change their playoff positioning, win, lose, or draw. The issue, in part, is that he has a team that was embarrassed here at Lambeau Field, especially on defense, in a loss last Saturday night to the Baltimore Ravens. And he has players who know they need to get back into their winning ways after 3 consecutive losses.
I think sitting here, it's embarrassing having the opponent coming into our house and the way they were celebrating and talking to us and just feeling the complacency and the energy on the sideline. And frankly, it's unacceptable. So starting with myself, the defense, and honestly, all 3 phases, we got to, at this point in the season, we got to find a way to play collective and be better.
We'll have full coverage throughout the week leading into Sunday's game in Minneapolis, which you can see right here on Channel 3. The game kicks off at noon. And we'll have coverage of the game itself from the Twin Cities on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers our coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
Lambeau looks pretty with that snow, doesn't it? One more reminder, Sunday's game between the Vikes and the Packers will air right here on WISC TV. Kickoff is set for noon from US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis.
That game will divide families.
Yes.
Coming up on Live at 4, the inauguration of New York's next mayor is drawing some high-profile eyes in the political world.
And the United States has made its first strike on a target in Venezuela. How close we are to war with the South American nation.
Plus, there's been a surge in emergency teaching licenses in the state. The reason for the increase and what this means for Wisconsin education.
Plus, it may not have been an election year, but that didn't stop a year full of big political news in Wisconsin. Ellie LaLiberte has a look back at a year in state politics.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
The numbers on Wall Street today, slightly red across the board. The Dow is down 95 points. The Nasdaq is down 55. The S&P 500 lost 9.5.
The Department of Homeland Security is investigating alleged Medicaid fraud in Minnesota after agents visited more than 30 daycare centers and health clinics across the Twin Cities. The visits followed a viral video posted by YouTuber Nick Shirley, who claims that dozens of facilities are fronts, fraudulently receiving millions in federal funds. The video was widely shared by high-profile figures, drawing national attention, but Minnesota officials dispute several of the allegations.
While we have questions about some of the methods that were used in the video, we do take the concerns that the video raises about fraud very seriously.
State officials say all child care centers shown in the video had children present during recent unannounced inspections, and nearly all currently hold active licenses. CBS News found some facilities cited for safety violations, but no evidence of fraud. The investigation comes as federal prosecutors continue pursuing a separate Medicaid fraud case with more than 90 people charged statewide, and additional indictments are expected.
President Trump says the U.S. struck a dock inside Venezuela that he says was used to load drugs onto boats.
The intensification includes another strike on a vessel in the Pacific. CBS's Aaron Navarro reports from the White House.
The U.S. military announced another strike on a boat allegedly transporting drugs in the eastern Pacific Monday, killing 2 people. It's the 30th such attack since early September. President Trump also confirmed a separate strike on the dock on the coast of Venezuela.
There was a major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. They load the boats up with drugs, so we hit all the boats, and now we hit the area.
The president wouldn't confirm more details. He did say he recently spoke to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, but nothing was resolved, and he made these allegations.
You have to understand what he's done. They've sent billions of dollars of drugs in. But maybe just as bad, they've sent hundreds of thousands of people in from jails, from prisons, from mental institutions and insane asylums.
The U.S. has also moved planes and ships to Puerto Rico, part of a military buildup in the Caribbean as the administration intensifies pressure on Maduro. President Trump has prioritized foreign affairs during the holiday break, meeting with the leaders of Ukraine and Israel during the past couple of days at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. His teams are now moving ahead with further negotiations. A meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders is possible next month in Washington. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed optimism about the Gaza peace plan moving forward, winning him some praise back home.
I think it's important to us to be in good relationship with the United States.
The president is spending the day golfing with no public events on his schedule. Aaron Navarro, CBS News, the White House.
Iran has also figured into President Trump's international focus, giving his support to Israel to attack if the country rebuilds its nuclear program.
New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani's inauguration will feature the 2 most prominent leaders of the Democratic Party's progressive movement, fellow New Yorker Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Mamdani will be publicly sworn in at a City Hall inauguration ceremony on New Year's Day. Sanders will administer the oath of office. Technically, Mamdani will take office at midnight on New Year's Day as revelers ring in 2026 in Times Square. Mamdani will have a private swearing in at a defunct subway station beneath City Hall Plaza. A storm front that's been wreaking havoc across the country is shuffling off to the East Coast today, and it's responsible for recent blizzards, ice storms, and much more.
And now some snowed in or delayed travelers might be able to return home safely, but hazards remain. Amy Kiley reports.
Winter weather continues today. More snow is piling onto existing drifts in the Great Lakes region. Forecasters say this week's totals could reach 3 feet in some areas. Many Americans across the country also face bitter cold today. That follows days of brutal storms in the northeastern quadrant of the U.S. Meteorologists say blizzard conditions made it hard to see in some Midwestern areas.
I mean, road's up here somewhere. I'm just going to kind of winging it.
Officials report hundreds of accidents on affected roadways. Michigan State Police say at least 20 cars and semi-trucks were in this pileup in Detroit. Some New Englanders also are grappling with recent snow and ice up to half an inch thick. Down south, the National Weather Service says parts of West Texas had a winter storm warning last night. Even some travelers outside storm areas say they've been affected.
It got delayed, then it got canceled. Then we got a notification saying that there were no flights going in and out for 2 days. Just so many people here that are traveling, delays with the weather, going up north.
FlightAware reports more than 900 U.S. cancellations and over 9,000 delays yesterday.
I would say get to the airport on time, relax. Things get be patient. Things get complicated at times, and just be prepared for slight delays.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
A small area in the West Texas mountains actually had a blizzard warning last night.
How about that? Much of Texas had faced record-breaking heat during Christmas week.
Sounds like us.
Yeah. Never know what's going to happen. Coming up on Live at 4, police are reporting a series of break-ins in Stoughton, what they know so far.
And a teen arrested for making a bomb threat at a Madison apartment complex is facing charges.
Plus, are your holiday cards showing up just a bit late, or maybe a package that wasn't in the mail in time for Christmas? We have an update on some post office changes to keep in mind going into tax season.
But first, Alex has the first warn forecast. This is freezing drizzle on one of our weather cameras, and there might be a little more snow on the way as well. Alex will update that ice situation. That's always a little treacherous when we come back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Welcome back to Live at 4. Brady is back today as we count down to the new year.
I know. Any New Year's resolutions?
Oh, that's a good question. I have to work
No
on
pressure,
that.
no pressure.
I have just a little bit of time left.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the weather words. Light snow to end 2025. Isn't this pretty? This is a look at the Capitol from Olbrich Park. I believe you can. There have been some ice fissures out on Lake Monona. There's one right there.
There's a lot of open water with the on the lake.
Yeah.
Be very careful.
Be careful, everyone.
And we have a potentially serious weather situation going on the Platteville weather camera, Alex.
Yeah, we certainly do, Susan and Brady. We'll add to light snow, freezing drizzle as well. When you are under the situation that we're under weather-wise, if you're not getting snow, you're very likely getting freezing drizzle. And this is our live Queen Bee Radio Skycam. What you're seeing here on the Skycam, that's deposition, deposits of freezing drizzle on the Skycam itself. Earlier, it was completely clear. Take a look at what's going on in Dodgeville in our Upland Hills Skycam. You can't see anything at all because ice is built up on the camera. I gave our friends at Upland Hills a call, and they confirmed that there is heavy drizzle falling out there, and that's freezing drizzle, and conditions are getting very slick, and that's for areas that are not getting the snow. The snow is from Dells to Madison to Janesville and areas to the east towards Watertown and Jefferson. What you're seeing in southwest Wisconsin here popping up, maybe a little bit of light snow, but we're getting reports from the National Weather Service too that this is freezing drizzle in southwest Wisconsin. So icy conditions is my big underline here. If you're heading out for an evening commute, you need to be careful that commute could be very slick, not just in the Madison area here in Dane County where we're having some snow and moderate snow at times, but as I zoom on out here, we'll see that snow and freezing drizzle push off towards the south and east. In fact, the freezing drizzle could last beyond the snow into the evening hours. And what I'm concerned about here are slick spots building up on area roadways that are not treated. Certainly those back roads, those on-ramps and those off-ramps and the bridges as well. So I'll be keeping a very close eye on these conditions as we go through the evening hours, as icy conditions very likely building up in southern Wisconsin with the light snow and the freezing drizzle.
Good to know, Alex. Thank you. In Stoughton, police say they're investigating multiple break-ins that happened on Sunday. It happened in the Moline and Academy Street area near Dunkirk Park. Officers say the property was stolen from unlocked cars and that one vehicle was reportedly stolen and then found crashed nearby. Police are urging residents to lock their homes and vehicle doors at all times.
In the town of Westport, a Waunakee man is in custody following a multi-day domestic violence investigation. Deputies say 38-year-old Harry McCormick threatened a woman with a handgun on December 21st, then avoided police for several days. Officers arrested him on Friday after stopping him while he was driving away from his home. Investigators found multiple guns in his vehicle and his home. McCormick faces several charges, including second-degree recklessly endangering safety and obstructing an officer with use of a dangerous weapon. He is currently being held on a $200,000 bond, and an autopsy is scheduled for a dog found dead in his home.
In Madison, a 16-year-old boy was arrested yesterday after police say he made a bomb threat at an apartment complex. Officers were called to a 4-story complex on the city's west side just after 3:30. Canine units meant to detect explosives were brought to the scene, and some items were taken from the apartment. After talking with mental health resources, the teenager was arrested. He now faces disorderly conduct while armed charges, along with making a bomb threat.
Tellurian's detoxification center in Madison will close January 1st after Dane County declined to continue short-term funding, according to the organization's CEO. The facility has allowed law enforcement to quickly drop off nonviolent people in substance crisis, freeing officers to return to patrol. Sheriff Calvin Barrett warns the closure will force officers to wait hours at hospitals instead, reducing law enforcement coverage across Dane County. County officials have not publicly explained the funding decision.
More Wisconsin classrooms are being led by teachers with emergency licenses. A new Wisconsin Policy Forum report shows the Department of Public Instruction issued about 4,000 emergency teaching licenses last school year, nearly a 20% increase from 2022. The growth is highest in subjects like special education, Spanish, and physical education, with larger and urban districts most affected. State officials say shortages are concentrated in specific regions and subject areas, not statewide.
Wisconsin residents may notice slower mail delivery as the U.S. Postal Service reports ongoing delays, especially in rural areas. Officials say new regional mail processing changes, increased holiday volume, and outdated zip code boundaries are contributing to slower first-class mail. The delays could impact postmarks for time-sensitive items like those tax payments and bills. The Postal Service recommends mailing important items early, checking local service alerts, and ensuring your mailbox is clear of snow or any other obstructions that might hold up a carrier.
Well, taking a live look now, this is in Milwaukee. It looks very pretty tonight, doesn't it? Where tens of thousands of drivers there face possible towing if they don't pay unpaid parking tickets by the new year. Around 23,000 drivers with 5 or more tickets received warnings this fall, and now a 2-month towing pause is about to end. Those towed will have to pay off their tickets, a $150 towing fee, and a $25 daily storage fee. City leaders added that payment plans are available.
Christmas may be over, but the Holiday Lights Tour in Fitchburg is still going on through Saturday. How about that? Even though voting has closed and tour signs are coming down, an interactive map of more than 50 homes and businesses is still available. City officials thank everyone who took part and encourage residents to bundle up and continue enjoying the displays throughout the holiday season.
Oh, I hate when it's time to put away the lights.
You're keeping yours up all throughout?
No, I take them down New Year's Eve, but enjoy those in Fitchburg as long as they're up. They're really good. Yeah. Well, next on Live at 4, Wicked for Good is coming to your home. We'll tell you where it will be streaming.
And we have a year of Wisconsin politics to look back at. Which stories made the biggest moves at the Capitol and around the state?
Plus, move over Mariah Carey. Valentine's Day is already taking over the shelves. We'll tell you why they're filling up with the holiday nearly 7 weeks away.
Always seems earlier, doesn't it? Plus, Alex is back with a slightly snowy check of the first warn forecast and some colder weather on the way.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, this is a live look at Times Square in the Big Apple as they are just over a day away from ringing in the new year. The weather in New York, 31 and mostly cloudy, not bad. The celebration, by the way, this one started in 1904 when the publisher of the New York Times moved the headquarters to Times Square, and the owner organized a big street party kicking off New Year's Eve festivities in Times Square.
That's fun.
Yeah, a little history for you. Well, now to our state capitol. From record-breaking spending in a state Supreme Court race to a budget signed at 1:30 in the morning, Wisconsin had a busy year in politics.
That's for sure. Ellie LaLiberte is recapping this year's top stories in politics.
Coming off the presidential election as a key swing state, Wisconsin once again held true to its purple nature in 2025. So for our first top political story of the year, let's start off with the race that gained national attention, a race for a seat on the state's highest court. The April election determined the ideological majority of the state Supreme Court. Liberal Dane County Circuit Court Judge Susan Crawford facing off against conservative Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel. Crawford's victory cemented a liberal majority on the court through 2028. The race was also seen as a political test on the Trump administration just 3 months into his second term. Elon Musk and George Soros also pouring cash into the race. Spending grew to roughly $100 million, according to the Brennan Center for Law, making it the most expensive judicial race in U.S. history. And sticking with the Supreme Court, let's look at story number 2, the High Court's ruling on an 176-year-old abortion ban. In July, the state's liberal majority Supreme Court handed down a decision that made a 19th century abortion ban invalid in Wisconsin. In the decision, justices concluded that the legislature had already repealed the 1849 ban when it enacted laws about abortion in the wake of the Roe v. Wade decision from the United States Supreme Court. The ruling meant the 20-week abortion ban lawmakers set is law. However, the court also dismissed a Planned Parenthood case that argued the 1849 ban was unconstitutional. That dismissal left the question of if there is a constitutional right to an abortion up in the air. Now to negotiations at the state capitol. Wisconsin's $111.1 billion two-year budget is our third story. The budget cut taxes by more than $1 billion and increased funding for childcare and the universities of Wisconsin's system. But it was pushed through the legislature under pressure. The legislature rushed to get it to the governor's desk ahead of a federal deadline that could have caused the state to miss out on more than $1 billion in healthcare funding. This is a look at the governor signing that budget at 1:30 in the morning. At story number 4, Democratic Governor Tony Evers' announcement to not seek re-election. Evers' decision left the field to fill his seat completely open for the first time in about 15 years. The move by the 74-year-old governor left Democrats without a consensus candidate. In response, the Democratic primary immediately began to grow. And now to story number 5. The Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction found itself in hot water this year over a bombshell Capitol Times report. The department faced backlash for its handling of sexual misconduct claims in schools. That's after a year-long Cap Times investigation found 200 incidents of educator sexual misconduct or grooming in a 5-year period. During a Senate Committee on Education hearing, State Superintendent Jill Underly defended her department, saying it follows state statute but could use more resources. In addition to state hearings, a bipartisan committee voted to audit DPI sky about suspensions, restrictions, revocations, and investigations into educational licenses. And now to our final top political story of 2025, the federal government shutdown's impact on Wisconsin. The October stalemate was over the Affordable Care Act tax credits set to expire at the end of the year. In Wisconsin, the ripple effect took hold in federal food assistance, known here as food share. Governor Tony Evers criticized the Trump administration after the USDA said it planned to freeze SNAP payments because of the shutdown. But after a federal judge ruled the administration had to fund the program, Evers fully loaded Wisconsinites' EBT cards. The 43-day shutdown was the longest in U.S. history. That'll do it for our top political stories of 2025. But don't worry, there's plenty to watch next year.
Thank you, Ellie. And Ellie has been sitting down with some of Wisconsin's top lawmakers as they look ahead to 2026.
You can see some of those interviews this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. on For the Record. Let's talk with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington about some weather today. So some snow is possible, huh?
Some snow and freezing drizzle. If you're not getting snow, you're likely getting freezing drizzle. This just in on our live Queen Bee Radio Skycam. What you see here is a deposit of ice on the Skycam. This is freezing drizzle and heavy freezing drizzle at that. We move north and east on 151 up to Dodgeville, up to our Upland Hills Skycam. That's all ice right now. And I called them and they were kindly answered and confirmed, yes, there is heavy drizzle falling, and it's not drizzle. It's freezing drizzle. The temperature is 21. So when you lose the snowflakes in the atmosphere, we've got snow, Madison areas to the east, where you lose the snowflakes. If you still have droplets in the atmosphere and they fall through the atmosphere and the temperatures are in the 20s, that's freezing drizzle. And that's what's depositing in southwest Wisconsin. That's why you're seeing special weather statements maybe popping up on your phone right now as we speak, because we passed this imagery and these reports off to the National Weather Service. So this commute tonight could be quite slick from freezing drizzle and light snow, as Brady was mentioning before. Not expecting heavy amounts of snow, but a quick area of snow behind that snow. Again, that freezing drizzle could last into the mid to late evening hours. Then we got a second Clipper-like system that's going to come through during New Year's Eve day, bringing more snow showers. We could have freezing drizzle as well with that batch of precipitation coming through on New Year's Eve day. Again, amounts light in the snow department, but that doesn't mean that it can't be very icy. Freezing drizzle on untreated surfaces, back roads, bridges, overpasses, on-ramps, off-ramps, they all can slicken up very, very quickly. So I want you to take that seriously as we move into the nighttime tonight. And again, on New Year's Eve, we're expecting some precipitation. We could be looking at a little bit of freezing drizzle as well. So take it easy if you're just about ready to head out for that commute with these reports and verification with our First Warn WeatherCam network that we've got freezing drizzle and we have snow, as you saw in Radar 3000, building up in southern Wisconsin. And it's just a little bit, but just enough to cause problems. So take it easy traveling this evening for sure.
Good advice. Thanks, Alex. After the break, the second installment in the Wicked series is coming to your home screens. We'll have the streaming service where you can find it.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Time for a little entertainment with movie news and more.
There's always something to watch. David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
This is the work of the Wicked Witch.
There's no place like home for Wicked for Good. The second half of the Broadway musical adaptation arrives on digital platforms today. It's grossed more than $500 million worldwide in theaters.
I done Cabaret with her on Broadway, and
Alan Cumming will receive the first Hollywood Walk of Fame honor of 2026. The actor, author, and Emmy-winning TV host will be honored in the Live Theater and Live Performance category on January 8th, before hosting the Movies for Grown-Ups Awards with AARP on January 10th.
I created something truly horrible. Not something. Someone.
Frankenstein is very much alive this award season. Guillermo del Toro's take on the classic horror tale leads with 4 nominations for the Makeup Artists and Hairstylists Guild Awards. The winners will be revealed at a gala February 14th in Los Angeles. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, just about, a day left in 2025. Walmart and other major retailers are already turning their attention to the next major holiday.
You're so right. It gets earlier and earlier every year. Video from a Walmart in Concord, North Carolina. Here you go. The shelves are packed with Valentine's Day candy. Retail analysts say big box stores often roll out seasonal merchandise weeks, even months early to spread out sales and get ahead of supply chain demands. Valentine's Day is still nearly 7 weeks away, but for shoppers, the countdown has already begun.
And how many people are still going to wait until the very last minute?
Exactly. Boy, that we've got some freezing drizzle. That is the worst.
It
is so
is
slippery.
It is, and it's sneaky too.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily expecting it when you're out on area roadways. If you're seeing anything on your car like this, let's take a look at our Queen Bee Radio Skycam.
Wow.
If you're getting any ice building up on your car, that is freezing drizzle that is falling. We've got some light snow in parts of southern Wisconsin from Madison and areas to the east, but this freezing drizzle moving in behind will keep icy conditions going on through the evening commute. So take it easy out there on those area roads. That might also be why the First One Weather app may have popped up a message on your phone saying, hey, icy conditions are expected this evening. So,
and it's not going to warm up at all to
melt
it or turn it into snow or
right.
It's just going to glaze everything over.
It will glaze anything that's not treated, any of those bridges, on ramps, off ramps. Take it easy this evening.
Yeah, take good care. Thank you, Alex. We'll be right back.
Coming up at 5, we're learning more about the Tellurian Detoxification Center as its doors are closing on Friday, what the closure could mean for area hospitals. And it's been a long year for many people, but things aren't always bad news. We have a look at the best news stories of the year that will make you feel good. Thanks for watching today on Live at 4. Have a happy new year, everyone. We'll see you back on Friday, I believe. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts next.